Hey, let's start healing. I'm Adrienne Murchison, and we have more in common than we think. And what we have in common can change the world. And I really just wanted to pop in and speak to you today because I am feeling very sad, and I think a lot of people are. I was just talking with a friend actually through text yesterday and he was just speaking about just the climate, and just it just feels very uncomfortable right now, the climate that we're in. And I think that a lot of us have been feeling this way for quite a while. The negativity, the division, just everything that's just hanging in the air. And then, with the last several days, with the events in Australia, Brown University, and then we have uh, Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, who were killed. And, that was particularly sad. Uh, Everything is particularly sad. Everything is particularly devastating. And on top of that, today, On top of that today, I think that what has things just even more compressed for me was, one, the press conference I watched. In fact, I turned it off, although I really want the information. The press conference with the FBI talking about the assassination plots, I think, were planned for New Year's Eve on several businesses. And the way that it was described, I'm wanting them to get to it. I'm so, as they were saying that it was coming soon, we were getting the notifications, it's coming soon, the press conference. And then I'm happy to see an official other than Cash Patel, because the last press conference I saw him at, I was thrown by the things he was saying. So I was happy to see what looked like an official from within the department giving us information. And there was uh, a lot of pretext around left wing and exponential things around that, which to me is inflammatory. And again, I'm trying to receive the actual information that they're giving us. And at this point, it is scary because of inflammatory language, because people are wigging out here in our world, even more so than it seems, than we've become accustomed to. And it is um it's a discouraging feeling when the authorities that we turn to are inflammatory. So there was that. And then also there was the tweet. I guess it wasn't a tweet because it came from his actual social media account. Uh, but Trump posted about Rob Reiner. And I mean, I have come to really accept him for who he is, and my real frustration and disappointment is with, you know, Congress, and just how uh, his colleagues allow and have a tolerance for this type of thing. But I have to say that that post was, it was really horrible. It was really, really horrible. And so I'm really not here to, say how horrible it was. I'm just saying that it's just a sad time. It's a sad couple of days, or several days, actually, within less than a week. It is sad. And uh, I'm a person where I really have to allow myself to feel the feelings so I can move forward, get it out of me, cleanse so I can move forward and, step back into what is real. And what is real is love and not hate. That is what is real. So, whoever else is feeling discouraged and sad and devastated if they're personally affected by these things. You know, I want you to know that everyone does not feel this negativity and hatred. There are people who care about your well being and our collective well being. And try to remember that. Try to lean into that. It's so heartening when I see that. There's so much division and then division within division, but for even, you know, people that I am aligned with, there's division within that. But we all have more in common than we think. We really, really do. And it's what we have in common that can change the world. It's when we lean into the well being for all of us. And when we lean into thinking about and considering other people and how they feel, because, hate cannot sustain itself. It cannot. And it can feel like a long time. Sometimes I'm thinking about, we're only a year in. We're only a year in. Oh my gosh. We have 3 more years. But that kind of mindset that I just said, sometimes that can have me forgetting that there is a power higher than this. There's a power higher than this, higher than humanity, higher than the will of people who live in hate. And that power is divine. That power is who you might call source or the universe, is who I call God. We're still talking about that same divine power. And that power truly is a power based on love and not hate. It's not based on separation. It is not. It is about our collective well being. And so I just want, anyone who is also feeling discouraged to just remember to pull yourself back. Just remember to do that. You know, I made a commitment to myself and to God last week because I was thinking about, at the end of my life, what would I feel regret about? And as much as there are things that I want in my life and I'm working towards the things in my life, what I don't want to feel regret about is my trust in God. I don't want to feel regret that, oh, I didn't trust God enough, because I do trust God a great deal. I've had so many miracles and just saving graces, blessings in my life. I trust God a great deal. But there is this little part of me, sometimes that has me not trusting God. Or when I say that, I mean, it might have me in worry. And I made a commitment to myself and to God and to Jesus last week that I'm trusting God wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly, I trust, because that's a regret I do not want to have. I do not want to regret, oh, if I had only trusted God more here or there. So, what's been happening since I thought about this last week is when I get into my worry or concern about anything like today, I remember. I remember what I said I was going to do. I remember where I am. I'm in a place now where I am giving it all to God and I trust God in everything. And I'm leaning into that. Everything's going to work out. Everything is always working out. And so I'm only sharing this to say to just remember what you know to be really, really, really true when you might uh, feel in a space of sadness like I have felt today. And I know that a lot of us are sad about Australia and Brown University, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner. And uh, there's 2 actors who have died. Most recently, is we found out today that Tony Geary died. And for someone like myself, if you're of a certain age, Tony Geary, All in the Family are we grew up watching these faces and feeling sentimental, and that can feed into emotions around the season that we're in. So I am just trying to say, take care of you, nurture you, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm remembering. Just Godspeed to everyone who has lost their life in these recent days. And I pray, really, let's start healing.